Hi, everyone. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. My guest today is Lisa Copeland. Lisa is a love coach and dating expert for women over 50. She believes that it's important to make women feel lovable and empowered in the dating game. And she's just got an amazing website and really has dedicated her life really to helping women find the right man for them. So welcome, Lisa.
Hi, Margaret.
So glad to have you here. Thank you.
It's wonderful being here. Thank you.
It's great. Well, the community always looks forward to your interviews because, well, number one, you tell the truth. You are very constructive and actionable, and I think they appreciate that.
Well, it's my pleasure. I love doing that because I really do love helping women feel lovable and empowered. And, you know, the things I share with them help them feel that way.
They do. They really do. Well, you know, women in their 60s, well, in their 50s too, 50s and 60s, it's not that they've given up on the dating game, but they're finding it hard. You know, they're really finding it difficult. They're stuck. They don't know what to do, where to turn. And I know you've got some really good practical suggestions for how they basically can get into it properly with a positive attitude, you know, and change their mindset about perhaps the way that they're approaching it. So can you go through some of those reasons that we're having trouble with this dating thing?
I would love to. The first one is about mindset, thinking that men will not love you in your 60s. And they will. Men are attracted to your personality. That is what it is. And a lot of times we become really bitter if things aren't working and we're drawing in the wrong guy. And it comes across in our pictures, in our profiles, in just our general vibration, energetic vibration we're giving off. Yeah. So we're actually repelling people versus drawing men in. And that's number one. Men will love you in your 60s. They'll love you for your personality, for how you look. They are not comparing you to what you look like in your 20s. They don't have a clue what you look like then. They only know what you look like now. And they love women's smiles. Women really undervalue their smile. They think, oh, my body has to be so tiny and this and that. No, you have to be warm, inviting, and a man feels good around you.
And friendly. Well, also, I think you raised a very interesting point with a magical word, which is love as well. And I mean, men don't love you in the same way when you're in your 60s and 50s as they did perhaps when they were looking to have a mate to have children and, you know, to get married. Love is bigger than that when it gets to be in your 50s and 60s, don't you think? It's just bigger and deeper.
Also, men are more accepting of women than we are of men. Men fall in love with who you really are. We fall in love with the man's potential. And that creates a real issue. So if you're a great person and you come across wonderful, there are going to be the right men out there that do love you and would be a good fit for you.
Okay, so mindset is number one, but I think that like you talked about before, this is kind of linked to how you feel about yourself. So being, you know, like you said, your mission in life is to make women feel lovable and empowered.
To help them feel.
To help them feel. I can't. Sorry, you can't wave a magic wand. No, but you know, so how does that work? I mean, how does that part of the reason that we're having trouble finding, love in our 50s?
Well, we don't feel enough. We look in the mirror and we look at all the negativity around us. My eyes are wrinkled, my nose is bigger, my hair is not as good, my booty is this or my waist is that. And we can never see the good things. When I work with clients, we really focus on what they love or are grateful for about themselves.
So important.
As well as what they feel they're good at and they're interested in. You are more than your body. You are a whole complete person, mind, body, soul. And this is what we forget when we're going out into the dating world. We forget that we're more than just our bodies and our faces. But you have to project that from your energy.
You know, when you that is so true that when you don't have a good feeling about your body and about who, you know, you're just your physical self, you don't feel worthy of love. You don't feel like anybody's going to be attracted to you, that, you know, you're basically not worth someone's attention, which is, I know, something you work really hard to get people to, you know, women to change their thoughts about.
Yeah, I do, because they're setting themselves up to fail. I help them see. They have to be able to see it, and I guide them into seeing really how amazing they actually are. And when I do this exercise with them, I end up reading them back what we've just created. And many of them cry because
Yeah.
they haven't
Yeah.
realized just how amazing they are. And they'll say to me, wow. I'll say to them, what do you think? What do you think at the very end after I've read it of my friend? Because I always say, I want to share something with you about a friend of mine. And then I'll say, what do you think of my friend? And they'll go, that you can hear in their voice the awe that they have heard, and they know it's about themselves. They go, she sounds pretty amazing, because we're so busy picking ourselves apart. We forget how amazing we really are. We are so much more than a wrinkle or a blob or whatever it is we think is wrong with us. We are way more than that.
Yes, but it does sometimes take someone outside of us, or like you say, to write it down and then read it back to you, to hear and for it to sink in. So I mean, once you've done that, I mean, once you've changed your mindset a little bit, and that's obviously a very important reason for holding back, and you've changed your thought about empowerment, then what do you suggest people do? I mean, how do you activate that energy?
Well, you need a plan, first of all, what you want to do. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm just going to put a profile online and they'll all come. You need a plan, which includes getting a super clear vision of the right man for you, and what I call a dating blueprint, which is figuring out 2 to 3 ways that you always have in your dating tool purse to meet men. We get really hooked into only meeting them online. So you need more ways for meeting men. That is so important. And the most important thing of all this is taking action steps. It's really important to sort of what I call reverse engineer. So you think about, what is it that I really want? You want the relationship. Reverse engineer of how you're going to get there in baby steps, because just leaping to the relationship is going to frustrate you and get you really, it'll take you off track, especially when rejection happens or things go south.
Yep.
So you need baby steps. You need baby steps in place. I'm going to do this. If I start to wear out from dating, I'm going to take this much of a break. I'm going to get back out there then. I'm going to do this. And by having baby steps, they're so much easier to accomplish than that big leap to a relationship.
Yeah, I think that is so true. And that actually is very true of just about everything that you're trying to do with making change in your life. If you want to lose weight, you're not going to go and start lifting 100 pounds. You're going to take baby steps and everything. You don't see how they can. Sometimes, though, you don't see how they connect, how the dots don't connect. And that's the challenge, is that you take a little baby step, and then maybe someone rejects you or says no. You're really bold and you say, would you like to go to a movie with me? And they go, no. And you go, and you take 2 steps back. So action is hard.
That's why you need a plan in place for what happens. And I do want to say something here about rejection, because this is our biggest fear. In fact, our fear of rejection can really hold us back tremendously.
Yeah.
So a man is not rejecting you. You just don't fit the picture of who he wants. That's all it is. And you do that with men too.
Yes.
When you say no to a man, it's because he doesn't fit the picture of who you want.
Yes.
So that saved me when I was dating, saying that over and over again to myself. He's not rejecting me. I just do not fit the picture of who he wants. Saved me a lot of blows to my ego. And it can help all of you too.
And Lisa, that's not just older men. I mean, it's really funny. You made me think of a conversation I had with a guy on a train. I mean, I'm always starting conversations with people on a train. And it was, it's a long journey. We started chatting, and he's a young guy, and he was talking about how I said, why don't you have a girlfriend? Because he was talking about, his situation. But he said, well, I'm afraid of, being rejected. It's like a really big deal for me. I just can't. I'd rather not have to go through that. And I couldn't believe this 40-something-year-old guy was actually saying that and meaning it.
Yeah.
So we think that guys are so strong and all together, but they have doubts too.
Oh, they do. And they're the ones usually putting themselves out on the line more than us, because they're the ones usually making initial contact. So they get rejected 1,000 times more than we do. They really do. And we're not nice to each other. We just, because it's online, we just blow people off, and we've forgotten manners. And so one of the things I tell my clients to do is pay it forward. Be kind, because when you're kind, he's going to be kind to someone else, and someone else is going to come around the corner and be kind to you.
Yeah, that's the secret, isn't it? Just being kind. But no, those three reasons I think that you gave us, that we have a mindset that isn't realistic. We don't feel worthy. We just don't feel worthy of being loved, and that we just aren't really prepared to get out there, create an action plan, and be brave.
Yeah. Those are three really good reasons that keep you stuck.
Yeah.
And just fear of failing. Why should I try if it's not going to work? And that really goes back to mindset. So if you have a good life and you create a wonderful, playful life in your own life, if a man comes in, great. If a man doesn't come in, it's okay, because you've created a great life for yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like the icing on the cake instead of the cake. You're the cake.
You are the cake. Enjoy the cake. I love you, Lisa. I love your advice. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm sure that women are going to be very happy to go to your website. It's findaqualityman.com, Lisa Copeland. And, you're just a perfect woman to take women through this process of rediscovering your worth and your value. So thank you, Lisa.
Margaret.
Take good care.
You too.
Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60 and Me YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.